One of the most important and widely recognized functions FIT fulfills for his members association is the awarding FIT prizes and awards at field world congresses. It's a time to recognize individual achievements and essentially award people where credit is due. Our prize winners were selected by international juries. The FIT prize or award is the recognition of the best by one peers around the globe. Before we hand out our prestigious awards, let's thank the awesome people who made this event happen. Please give a big round of applause for all the volunteers who gave their time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears to make this program a stupendous success, for our judges, for their expertise, dedication, and hard work. Also, today would not be possible without the amazing generosity of our sponsors. The FIT Prize for Astrid Lindgren, Aurora Borealis for fiction, and Aurora Borealis for non-fiction have been created thanks to the interest earned on donations allocated by the Norwegian Association of Literary Translators, the Norwegian Non-Fiction Writers and Translation Association, and the Astrid Lindgren Fund. The agreement with each entity is to use the interest on such donation to pay for these prizes awarded in recognition of the work of outstanding translators in these three categories, but given the relatively short term, the Norwegian Non-Fiction Writers and Translator Association, known as NFS, granted for this year €1,000 for this year's Aurora Borealis Prize for Non-Fiction Translation, and the Norwegian Association of Literary Translators, known as NO, sponsored €1,000 for this year's Aurora Borealis Prize for Fiction. Who are they? Maybe I'm quite sure. Most of us know who are they, but for the one who doesn't know who are they, let's talk about them. The Norwegian Association of Literary Translators, known as NO, has got 338 members translating into Norwegian from 51 languages. The association also has a number of members who collectively translate from Norwegian into 50 other languages. NO is an independent organization and one of several specialized translator associations in Norway. The Norwegian Non-Fiction Writers and Translator Association, NFF, is an organization for writers and translators of all kinds of non-fiction literature. Membership is open to writers and translators who have published at least 100 pages of non-fiction, and the association has approximately 5,400 members. Can you imagine that? The FIT Prize for Interpreting Excellent will be sponsored, if we can have the next slide, yes, this year by the Italian Association of Translators and Interpreters, known as AITI, and the prize winning amount will be €500 plus a plaque. Let's talk about the Italian Association of Translators and Interpreters. I think our sponsors deserve that we talk about them. This association is a non-profit body of professionals. It was founded in 1950. AITI was the very first association of translators and interpreters in Italy and is the largest. It currently has over 1,100 members. AITI brings together literary, technical, scientific, and legal translators, as well as conference, liaison, community, and legal interpreters. Karel Capet Medal. It was donated by the Czech Literary Translators Guild. Literature Across Frontiers, known as LAF, is a European platform for literary exchange, translations and policy debate. LAF aims to develop intercultural dialogue through literature and translation and highlight lesser translated literatures. The FIT Prize for Excellence in Scientific and Technical Translation consists of a financial award of 300 euros equivalent and a plaque. The prize is sponsored by a general donation from Pamela Mayorkas, who is a member of the Institute of Translations and Interpreting, ITI, in the United Kingdom, and who gifted her a stipend as chairman of the period 2010-2011 in order to fund this prize. So please, let's give a round of applause to all of them. Thank you very much. Last but not least, for the first time, the two FIT prizes, FIT Prize for Best Periodical and FIT Prize for Best Website, that according to the actual rules were only entitled to a certificate of merit, this year, both prizes will get a plaque and 500 Swiss francs for each of these categories. The honorable mentions will receive 250 each. Let me tell you something. We plan to end the ceremony at 5 p.m., so synchronize your watches. Before we hand out the awards, I would like to welcome FIT President Dr. Henry Liu, who will address a few words to the audience. Dr. Liu?
Thank you very much. I would have thought you have heard enough from me by now. Thank you. The team has been working very hard to make sure that we have a widest possible candidates to be nominated and to be considered for all of these awards. As you can imagine, we translators and interpreters are probably one of the worst profession in knowing how to praise our colleagues. We are very good at criticizing our colleagues, we are very good at criticizing ourselves, but we are not very good at praising our colleagues. So I think it is particularly important to have an international panel and looking at particularly areas of lesser not interest, but lesser visibility that FIT is able to do that. But before I do that, I really want to thank all the jurors and our committee who has been assembling the jurors and preparing all the information so that they can make an informed decisions to acknowledge the work of our colleagues in the last 3 years. A round of applause for all our winners, all our jurors, and all our administrators. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. And now on to our awards. Our first prize for this afternoon is the Astrid Lindgren. Sponsored by the Astrid Lindgren Fund, his aim is to promote the translation of children's literature, to improve the quality thereof and draw attention to the roles of translators in bringing the peoples of the world closer together in terms of culture. The recipient of the prize will receive an award and 1,000 Swiss francs. Sure. The jury for the Astrid Lindgren Prize was Juan Chanchi Scher from the Translators Association of China, Thorsten Busch Hoverstad from the Norwegian Association of Literary Translators, Graciela Steinberg, Colegio de Traductores Públicos de la Ciudad de Buenos Aires, Peter Busch, Translator Association or Society of Authors, Luis Viola, American Translator Association. Let's call upon the stage Marion Boers, two-time FIT President and FIT Honorary Advisor, to deliver the prize to the winner. So with us is Marion Boers.
Thank you, Raina. I'm very honoured to be able to present this prize today. There were 2 nominations for the 2017 prize. One, Francesca Novajra was nominated by the Translators and Interpreters Association of Italy, and the other was Carlos Manuel Ramos Machado, who was nominated by the Translators and Interpreters Association of Cuba. And the winner of this year's award is Francesca Novajra from Italy. While she is coming up, I will tell you that she works from French and English into Italian and from Italian into French. She's translated some 80 books for children and young people, and these range from science and nature books to picture books, from novels to fantasy works. She's very clearly a dedicated translator and a worthy recipient of this year's award.
Thank you. Sorry. When I heard I won this prize, I was overwhelmed. I'm still overwhelmed. Such an award from colleagues from all over the world, translators like me, it is the greatest of honors. Translating children's literature, it is often like an interstellar space travel. You have to rewrite the original text, transmitting the same emotions: humor, fear, suspense, passion. And children are particularly attentive listeners and readers. Their reading is multisensory. They read or listen to the words. They look at the illustrations, at the colors. They feel the paper with which the book is made. They catch the rhythm of words and the music of words. They smell the book and literally explore it. So it's not easy. You have to think like them and to feel like them, to listen like them, with no superstructures and a lot of imagination. I do hope I can listen to words that are in the right way, with the right ears. If I can only perform that magic and make an Italian child or teenager laugh or cry while reading a book that was written in another language, then my work will be worthwhile. So, thank you, colleagues, and thank you to the FIT, thank you to the Astrid Lindgren Fund, and thank you to my association, the AITI, the Italian Association, for this great honor. And I would like also to thank you, my children, Jacopo and Hector, who are here, for letting me into their world, to my husband Lorenzo, who is here as well, and to my beloved parents. So thank you very much. It is a really great